Hello, this is Ricardo and I'm playing Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. That was released on the 31st of August. Now it's in full release. We expect to see full support and all the rest of the good stuff that comes with a game that's in mass production and mass release. I'm a huge fan of the original series and the reimagined series that finished several years ago, and this is what this game is based on, sort of a merge of the two. It's taken before the events of the second attack of the colonies, and we expect to see some old favourites. So let's cut to the cinematic now and then get into the first tutorial gameplay.
We are Ace in the Hole, the largest, most powerful Battlestars ever created. Each of the 12 colonies were promised one in return for signing the Articles of Colonization. The first, Galactica, was Caprica's crowning glory. It went missing 2 weeks after deployment. Athena, the 5th ship to be completed, belongs to Pycon. We were days away from delivering it when we heard the news. Pycon's capital cities were devastated by Cylon assault fleets. Among them, our own colonial fleet headquarters. There was no chance to intervene. Command of Colonial Fleet has fallen to Rear Admiral Kane. Our mobile shipyard, Daedalus, has become the ad hoc fleet headquarters. As Kane's XO aboard Daedalus, you have been promoted to Operations Commander of the entire Colonial Fleet. Kane intends immediate retaliation for the attack on Pycon. The war room awaits your arrival, Commander.
Ooh, so here we are going up the steps to the main map
Battlestar
overview.
is almost ready to
Ooh,
deliver.
great. Okay,
But Sinan says it can't make an independent jump until the fuel lines have stabilized.
so we're going to engage the
Kane's
first
orders are
mission.
to jump Daedalus to Pycon with the Battlestar Athena attached ASAP. That means we
Let
have
them
to
go
clear
through
the
their
scouts
talky
here or
bit.
risk telegraphing our movements to the entire Cylon fleet. I'll prep the deck crews for the jump.
Right,
while you
proceed.
deal with
We're
the
going.
toasters.
Proceed. Right, nice picture of the Galactica. 4 Vipers. I'm sure we're going to get bored of that screen.
Known in this war, Commander. I trust
Oh, and here we are, and here's the game. This is. I've stayed away from the beta because I didn't want to spoil it by playing a game that wasn't really finished. So we can move our units, as they've been saying, as Agathon's been saying, with the mouse button, up, down, left and right. The up and down is the important bit as well. Very important to think 3-dimensionally with this game. To put your ship on a sort of level or plane as your enemy. So we've got an icon, and here comes a Cylon Corvette. Our ships have opened up directly at it because we pointed them in the right direction. And this is turn-based as well. And some people might think this is a bit like micromanagement. Well, I suppose it is really, but then again, for a strategy game, a Battlestar strategy game where you're going to be commanding huge fleets. I know the fleets are small at the moment. It's really going to come into itself. I really do think it's got really good potential, this game. So we're engaging our turrets. The turrets are going to open up with focus fire on that Corvette, and we're going to end our turn. So we've got him in a cross-turret fire maneuver. It's hardly a Damara maneuver, is it really? But there you go. It worked. He's flown straight through the middle of us.
Sir,
And another
we've got
one's
a new
turned
Dratus
up.
contact.
Another Corvette. So these are called Talons,
Dratus IFF confirms the
and
contact
seem
of the Cylon Corvette.
to be the initial
Scanning for
mainstay of
further
the Cylon
intelligence.
fleet, which is the first things we're engaging with anyway. So I'm turning one of my Talons off to the left now. No, Talons. Manticores. Off to the left now to engage that Talon. I'm going to swing the other one round as well.
Yes, Commander.
And what we're going to do is we're going to select Cylon to get a little bit of information.
Hold up to sustained fire. Focus your turrets on one side to punch
There's
through
old
their
Admiral
armor
Kane.
and
Oh, it
destroy the
won't
hull.
stand up to fire.
These ships also
Wear it
have
down on a
long-range
side and then
guided
get through the
munitions,
armor.
useful
Very
for
good.
softening a target.
Only problem with that is you've actually got to wear it down on one side.
Understood.
And I'm playing this in Lieutenant mode. This is the easiest mode. Just try and get to grips with things. Of course, this game has a multiplayer and has a skirmish mode. And I'll have a go at that in future videos. So let's end that turn and see what happens.
Missiles incoming!
So you've got one. I'm letting loose the missiles on from the Manticore on the right, and the one on the left. I'm going to lay in some missiles for him as well.
Commander, your ships don't seem
Let's
to
move,
be
swing round to
performing as well as
intercept.
they should. They may have
Bring
system damage
plane
that's been
down so we're about
overlooked.
level so our guns can engage correctly at him.
Tell the
We
engineering
can
crews
repair
aboard
some
those ships
subsystems.
to
This
fix what
engineering
they
guy.
can.
Yeah.
See to their comprehensive repair once you've finished with your engagement.
He's a bit of a condescender. So everyone's going to get repaired. That's brilliant. Repairing, repairing, repairing. End that turn. Move him around a little bit. Keep him engaged. Great. He's targeting him. Okay. Just make sure. Focus fire. We want him to get it full barrels. Right, okay, end turn. So whereas each turn seems to take a little bit, at the end you are offered an action replay, which seems good, and then you got to replay the
Subsystem
turns as
repairs
well.
are complete.
So for initial engagement, this is quite good to learn. So pressing M gives you an overview of the battlefield and the surrounding area in a sort of a Dreidus sort of aspect, which is nice. And it looks like we have indeed destroyed one of those Talons. So our Manticore at least has done something right. So we can swing that one round now.
On it, Commander.
And engage the remaining one. And then swing the one that's right close to it. Got to be careful not to run into it as well, because you can collide with the ships, and at the expense of your ship, you probably will destroy one of a similar size, or if not, give it a hell of a lot of damage. I did this on an earlier playthrough. Couldn't work out where my Manticore went. Truth of the matter is, I ran it into somebody. Okay, so there we are. We're gonna drop that plane down so we're level with him. Same with this one. Get him right down on the same level. And of course, if it goes red, you're gonna have a collision. Can't shoot any missiles yet. Make sure our focus fire is on that Manticore. End turn. There we go. So we're engaging hits, and they're not the most accurate of cats, I have to say. And hopefully now we'll be able to engage with some missiles, with some heavier weaponry. So this is one of the first goes, 2 or 3 goes I've had of this, really. So I'm still learning. So if it looks like it's a bit clunky, that's probably down to me and not the game. Like with any new game, there's going to be a learning curve, you know. So I mean, getting the hang of this I thought was quite easy. It's the first tutorial. Other tutorials that will follow in other videos as well that I've done do bring up some of the more advanced options that you can do with your ship. But this is doing a good job of covering, you know, a lot of it so far. So here we go. Yeah. Ooh, missiles.
Missiles on their way.
That's going to be his biscuits now, I reckon. So they're firing missiles, we're firing missiles. He's gone. But he managed to get his missiles off at our Manticore. Ah, well there you are. So that's the Cylon threat neutralized. Let's view the replay. And I'll be quiet through this. Well, no, I won't be quiet through this, because the graphics behind that, Nebula, nice star field. I mean, the graphics on the main Daedalus starport are very good as well. You know, that's great. I haven't really good look at those yet. I've been so excited to get in here and play the game. There's our first engagement. Here comes the one, jumps in, shooting his missiles, firing off his guns. Out, we've taken some hits. Big return of fire. So whereas the entire micromanagement of the engagement took, what, 8 minutes? This entire replay of what happens in real time is probably going to take less than 1.5 to 2, I would say. Because here we are, look, we're engaging the second one now. The Manticore's turning around us, as I said, just recently. We'll open up now with some missiles. He's on the run. There's our missiles going. Here's his missiles going. He's gone. And that's the end of the first tutorial mission. I've been Ricardo on Ricardo's gaming channel. This has been Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. That came out today. Very excited. Please look out for more videos in the series.